Good evening, PMCers. Many of you are familiar with my personal journey that led to the creation of the PMC in 1980, living through the cancer stories from diagnosis to death of my mother, uncle, and cousin. While doing so, I found that cycling not only boosted my health, but also renewed my spirit. And that simple truth led to the PMC epiphany. Who wouldn't cycle 200 miles to get all that for mind and body? My mother certainly would have loved that opportunity. 41 years later, nothing means more to me than to be able to raise a glass to the more than 1,000 cancer survivors who have found a place in the PMC. Each of those living proof cyclists and volunteers have their own unique story. But what they share in common with all PMCers is a commitment to show up on PMC weekend to ride, work, and raise money. And together, we offer help and hope to those working tirelessly with the faith that cancer may someday be history. This year, showing up is reimagined and is both easier and much harder. It's more intimate. You and your family, or your team, or even you alone. But the results of showing up hasn't changed. PMC weekend matters because the dollars we donate will once again underwrite critical research and care at the Dana-Farber, and that impacts the global cancer community. Once more, all that together brings us closer by the mile. Now, for the living proof toast, will you please welcome 9-year rider Teresa Welch.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Teresa Welch, as Billy said, and my journey to the PMC started well before I knew that it was going to. Way back in 2002, when I was 39 years old, I went to work one day, and by that evening, I was in an emergency room and had suffered a major stroke, and I lost all of the functionality on the left side of my body. During that time, so many people supported me, and none more than my friend Mike. He made me laugh, and anyone that knows me knows that I love to laugh. And so I credit him with me getting back on my feet again. So we were devastated when Mike passed from cancer in 2010, and I thought, what on earth can I do? I have so much grief. So I did what a lot of people on this call have done. I went out and I bought my first adult bike, and I think it was payback for Mike because I could hear him laughing as I crawled out of bushes, and those early days still clipped into those pedals. So a couple of years later, some friends who apparently hadn't seen me crawling out of bushes told me about the PMC challenge. And so I thought, what a great way to honor Mike's memory and to also do something for others other than focusing on myself as I had been. So I registered for my first PMC 9 years ago, and I joined Team Kinetic Karma, who I consider to be a second family. And I have to say the determination and grit that I have experienced across the miles of the PMC have been nothing short of inspirational. And that was incredibly significant to me 4 years ago when I found myself sitting in Dana-Farber talking to an oncologist and receiving a cancer diagnosis of advanced malignant melanoma. I credit hands down all of the efforts of everyone on this call and across the PMC community and our supporters for my being here today because of advances in cancer research that are made possible by the PMC challenge. So my favorite saying has always been, if the goal changes, if the plan changes, change the plan, never the goal. The goal has always been that we're going to kick cancer to the curb, all cancers, and a pandemic has not stopped us from doing that. So for the first toast tonight, I know Billy has one, I'd like everyone to lift your glass, and this goes out to anyone in the world who is looking for any glimmer of hope. They need to look no further than this particular group here because we are living proof.
Swallowing my wine. Thank you, Teresa. So listen, now this is media time, everybody. Audience participation. I believe my role here is nothing more than simply saying to you, hold your glass into the camera and hold it for 60 seconds while Jack Gordon does his technological magic. And if you can all count down 60 seconds, well, then I think he's got his job done. All right, so don't move. You people are good. So here's, I guess, my toast for real. I couldn't be more sick of the word socially distance. PMC is a mass event. It's a big loving, and you all know it. I miss it terribly. I assume you do as well. What we built together is truly remarkable, and I always use the metaphor of the bike turning the crank of progress, but it's palpable what a group working together can achieve across 360 miles and 46 towns. And we're missing all of that. But what you and 10,000 others have done on this weekend and right through the summer and fall to raise money for Dana-Farber's, to show that the PMC spirit lives on, will continue to live on. And, hopefully I'm drinking to the fact that I hope that you, as a cancer survivor, that this whole group will be back together, and we're doing this at MMA or at Babson or in Provincetown or in Boston again next summer. So it is now my pleasure to introduce veteran band Bliss, which has performed the Living Proof Toast and at the PMC for the last 10 years. Please welcome Bliss and have a sip.
Thank you. And we're missing our bandmate, Karen. She's watching on Zoom, but is social distancing from Vermont. So. And we hope you sing along at home. Another turning point, folks stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hang it on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoo the memories of dancing on child. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. Something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. This next one is called Kind and Generous, and I think anyone who is a living proof rider and raising money and all those people that donate to you, and Billy and Meredith and everybody involved in this is for you. on giving. For your kindness, I'm in debt to you. For your selflessness, my admiration. For everything you've done. I'm bound to thank you for it. La 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 I hope you're singing with us. Oh, you've been so kind and generous. I don't know how to keep on giving. For your kindness, I'm in debt to you. And I never could have come this far without you. For everything you've done. I'm bound to thank you for it. La 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 I want to thank you for so many gifts you gave and all the love you gave. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your generosity and all the love you gave. I want to thank you. I want to thank you, show my gratitude, my love for you and respect for you. I want to thank you. I want to thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank you. Oh, oh, oh. Thank you for letting us be a part of this.
Thank you, Bliss. Sound terrific, even over a Zoom conference. Okay, well, that's our program, folks. Thank you all for your support. And again, reimagine and imagine being back at MMA next Saturday night, next year. So thank you for being here. Have a great PMC weekend. Raise a lot of money and stay tuned. Thank you all. Have a good night.